Good morning, everybody. Mark and Brenda here at Bitcoin.
Bitcoin say what?
Boom. Happy Thursday morning. Mark and Brenda here. Thank you for joining us. If you like us, please like, subscribe, and do all that fun stuff that you're supposed to do as this little tag thing scrolls up, because my wonderful wife here, look at that. Man, do I, 30-some years, I know that woman. Okay. Please like, comment, subscribe if you can. If you don't like us, I wouldn't get up this early to watch us then if you don't like us. All right. Hey, Brenda, let's start off. We got some great stories, and we always have some fun commentary about so here this morning.
All right. Internet's being weird. Okay, so I found this really interesting. Bitcoin crash opens door to a tax loophole for investors. This is kind of, I think it's kind of interesting. But crypto losses are different than those of stock and funds. This is because of the wash sale rules that don't apply, according to financial advisors. This offers two benefits for crypto investors. Now, this is just for crypto investors. They can sell crypto for a loss and then use that loss to reduce and eliminate the capital gains tax on winning investments. Then they can quickly buy back the crypto they sold so as to not miss out on subsequent rebound in price. The first benefit, called the tax loss harvesting, is allowed for stocks and other securities. However, the second benefit isn't. Stock investors aren't allowed to buy the same or similar currency within 30 days before or 30 days after a sale without triggering penalties. This is a loophole, so to speak. The so-called loophole exists due to the fact that regulators don't consider crypto as securities, but instead the IRS labels them as property. The tax treatment could make a big difference for assets as volatile as cryptos has been in weeks according to financial advisors. So let's take an example of a Bitcoin investor who bought high and sold low, incurring a $35,000 loss. This year, the same person also sells stocks and mutual funds for a $35,000 gain. The Bitcoin loss would erase the tax on that capital gain for those securities, those stocks or mutual funds. Further, the same investor could quickly rebuy the Bitcoin near the 30,000 low and participate in any uprun. This price jumps more than 10% on Monday. Some Bitcoin bulls expect the asset to reach 100,000 by this year end. By comparison, a stock investor would miss out on 30 days of potential gains after a sale due to the wash sale rules, because he's not allowed to buy back in for 30 days. It lets you completely manipulate crypto on the downside and use it to create a tax benefit. Importantly, while this tax benefit applies to cryptos like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin, it wouldn't for investors in crypto-related securities. I find that interesting. I wonder if that means like I don't know this for a fact. Do you, Mark? When they say crypto related security, so that's probably they're talking about the ETFs, I'm assuming. You couldn't dodge the wash with crypto platform Coinbase, but you could clearly dodge the wash with crypto. So I actually think that's pretty cool. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's so funny that you read that article this morning, because when I was listening, Will Clement had a little thing on Twitter yesterday, and a couple of guys were specifically talking about that rule and how they've utilized it. And it is a rule, and it is totally usable.
Well, you know why it's funny? You know why it's funny? Because I read that.
Why? Because
we're soulmates. I just know that I just had a feeling.
Soulmates, yes, we are. Or cellmates.
After this fight this morning, we had a fight this morning.
Oh, we didn't have a fight. We had a heated discussion.
Yes.
A debate about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and all that kind of stuff.
It was more of a debate about
dogs.
Our dogs and
our dogs.
Anyway, all right, go ahead. You go ahead and pull up. I would like to talk about something, and then you just keep going. So behind Mark, I love to show the beautiful parts of America, and this is Mississippi. And behind Mark is a gentleman standing on a car roof holding a Bitcoin sign.
There we go.
And I won't mention anything else. This inside joke.
Inside joke. Okay.
But I find it. Do you know? Are all okay? I know they say crypto-like securities or crypto like whatever, they're probably talking about like Bitcoin ETFs. Do you know, does the IRS consider every crypto a property? Like, do they consider Dogecoin or do they not?
That I don't know. That I do not know. So obviously, do not take financial advice. We're not giving it. That I would say, make sure whoever you get your advice from, I would say look it up first, and then if you have an accountant or somewhere you can get accounting advice, I would highly recommend.
Yeah, because I don't even know. I know that one gentleman that we work with in Miami had said on his YouTube channel that this was a couple months ago, so maybe the IRS has clarified it since then, that even the NFTs, we don't know if those are considered assets or not.
Yeah, this is, I did read a little clip on Twitter yesterday, and actually it was an article. Maybe you've got it. I don't know, but they're talking about how USA regulators are looking to speed up the process of kind of framing the structure for cryptocurrencies, because it sounds like they're a little behind schedule. I quickly glanced at the article. It was one of them I got to kind of late. So,
on that vein, real quick before you return, can you imagine these regulators and stuff? They're like, how they move so slow. And we talked about that yesterday.
You know what?
Let me finish this thought, and then you can say this. So how we were talking about yesterday, how like most of these entities, they move at a snail's pace. It takes them 2 years to make one decision, and crypto changes. It's like because it doesn't sleep, and it just. I'm not talking about the price. I'm talking about just
the market itself.
The market itself, and it's ever evolving. These old guys and gals. Sorry, no offense, anybody listening.
Wait a minute. We're those old guys and gals.
Oh, okay, but what I'm getting at is that the people that are not necessarily old in age, but old to the system, and are so used to moving so slow, and this isn't waiting for them. So while they're still debating on, let's say Bitcoin and Ethereum and maybe NFTs, there's going to be something new developed, and they're like, wait a second, slow down.
Well, it's like a barge versus a speedboat, like a cigarette boat.
Yeah.
The barge is a government agency, and they have rules and they have stipulations and systems in place, and everybody does their job, kind of, everybody stays in their lane. And then you've got crypto, which is full throttle, 365 days a year. When you stop and think about it, it's like a faucet out, outside that you turn on, and you just don't ever turn it off.
I got a vision of the barge and the speedboats. The barge, you and I used to go boating when we were kids, even though we didn't know each other. We probably saw each other all the time in the Illinois River. I remember the barges, you have all those workers on there, and it's just slow slug. And
you're blowing right past them.
But there's workers standing on there, and they're kind of just lazily walking on the barge. And then the speedboat's got the chick in the bikini, and they're like slamming. They're like, slow slamming. And so I think about crypto and how it's, kind of more sexy, and then the old system's so old.
Well, you know what? It's the public service versus private service. The private market has a tendency to move at a much greater pace. Sometimes good, sometimes not.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is what it is, and they're just behind the times. And I don't know if it was. I don't know if it's going from one administration to another administration, or if it's just the lack of wherewithal. I'm not going to speak on their behalf. It is what it is. And
that law is actually pretty interesting if you think about it. If you're an investor on both sides of the system, what a great thing. I mean, they say it's a loophole, but it's really not a loophole. I mean, I don't know. I have to look up the definition of a loophole. It's a law, and that's how it's there.
See, that's the thing. What drives me crazy is politicians have a tendency to, we got to close these tax loopholes. Well, they're the ones taking the most advantage of them.
The ones who made them.
Well, they're the ones that made them, and not only that, we're in a little bit of a government rant here, but the reality of it is they made them, and they are using them. I mean, quit lying to yourself. If you don't think these people in Washington, D.C. are taking full advantage of these tax loopholes, you're on drugs, okay? And not good drugs, okay? But that's my whole point is that, you really wording is everything. And when you listen to stuff, you need to listen really careful. And
I wonder if that's why they classified I wonder if they're only going to classify certain cryptos as assets like property, because then those will be their store of value. So they can do this loophole thing that we talked about, and then the other ones you can't, because I don't know, it would be interesting.
It could be, but you know, in the end, a lot of these coins are going to go away.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. A majority of them are probably going to go away.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have any statistical information. That is my gut instinct that most of them will go away. In any marketplace, you're going to have eventually shake out a few of the leaders, and how that shapes out really is how the market decides that. So let me get into my article here. It's a Wall Street Journal opinion piece. I read the article. I thought it was kind of funny. It was actually kind of stupid in some respects, but ban cryptocurrency to fight ransomware. The existence of Bitcoin and the rest benefits nobody except criminals and speculators.
They got
There's no speculators and criminals in Wall Street.
as they draw a rattlesnake on the front there.
Yeah,
Is that a rattlesnake?
yeah. That's us protecting our coins.
That's a rattlesnake, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, here we go. I thought this was funny, so I'm going to read the first couple paragraphs quickly, and then I'm just going to comment. No one is out of reach from ransomware attacks. The Colonial Pipeline hack made that clear, along with nearly 2,500 cases of ransomware, a form of malware that encrypts computer files and holds them for ransom, reported to the Federal Bureau of Investigation last year, a 66% annual increase. In 2020, ransomware victims paid hackers $350 million in cryptocurrency. Since many victims pay ransom without reporting the incident, these numbers understate the damage. The solutions floated after Colonial Hack improved cybersecurity in the private sector and public sector collaboration to protect critical infrastructure are pro forma and inadequate. There is a simpler and more effective way to stop the ransomware pandemic. And cryptocurrency. It's all about the wording. I love it. So I'm not going to go great. So the bottom line is this: if we didn't have cryptocurrency, we wouldn't have these hacks. Let's see how many. We should pull up how many times, say, these major retail stores had hacked, had your information hacked, Visa, MasterCard, all those. This is before cryptocurrency was ever really on the scene. This is a joke. You know, this is one of those things like, oh, if we didn't have computers, we wouldn't have hackers. There we go. It's an if-then statement. If we didn't have computers, then...
Well, I just did the search while you said it, and it says ransomware attacks increased 485% in 2020 compared to 2019. And they did not say that it was related. They did not say it was related to crypto. So
this article is just a hit piece, man. It really...
Honestly, I don't like some of these these news organizations. I know most of it is opinion pieces, but I don't love when they write it, because I think a lot of people say, "Oh, it's Wall Street Journal. This is, because this is like, been around. Wall Street is what, I don't know what you want to call it. It's been around forever, and all the financial people. When I used to work at the law firm for the partner that I work for, I mean, he came in and that was the first thing. I mean, he sat for the first hour and read Wall Street Journal.
Well,
so it's the old standard of get your news from them, because they're
Yeah, well, it's an opinion piece. I got no problem with it, but it seemed very intellectually lazy. It was like, wait a minute, stop. Yeah. At some point in time, if you're sitting here saying, well, we got to ban it because now we have this going on. Well, if they're paying them in cryptocurrency, aren't they in some respects paying them in cash? Because don't you have to use cash to buy cryptocurrency?
Right, and then if you have to,
what the heck's the difference?
If that pipeline attack was paid in Bitcoin, then they should be able to figure out through the
transparent
system who funded it and where did the bank come from?
Which wallet it went to? It didn't go to, it didn't like disappear.
Right, and not only that,
that's the dirty little secret here. It's so freaking. It's almost scary how
it had to be funded. It had to be funded from a bank account. And then that bank had to be set up, in the correct ways that our government requires every bank account set up, where they take your social security number or your FEIN. And if they have the FEIN, they have they take your articles of incorporation, which show who started the company, and so the banks have everything.
So correct me if I'm wrong, okay? And I will be the first to admit I am not the tech guy here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Don't call me for tech support. I'm not your man. But it goes from one wallet to another wallet, pretty much.
Yes, and that first wallet had the money funded to it. Even if there was a crypto already in the wallet and they used that and not prior, they could be able to go back prior to even that one. And how? So let's say there was 100 Bitcoin, and that's what they paid for the pipeline attack. And so they could go back in time and then trace backwards where they got that Bitcoin from. So even if they bought it from someone else, there's a website that Ivan on Tech shared. I'd have to look it up, and they can actually show the map, like it's a visual, and you can follow the Bitcoin exactly where it goes to. Like, so, it's a map, it's a visual map.
The downside to crypto, as far as trying to look into it from the law enforcement side, is maybe
they use this site. Ivan on Tech said they use this site. The law enforcement does. Go ahead.
So they use it, but can they find the problem is they don't know who owns that wallet. Is that correct?
No, I think at some point, wherever they figure out where it ended or where it started at is where they begin, and then they can probably go to that. I don't know how they do it. I'm sure they're not going to. I don't think they're going to tell us how they do it. So then,
I'm not
around it. But I think they can. I think they can, because that's why you have to do the KYC, know your customer, at the start of any wallet. You have to do all of your documentation.
Some countries don't necessarily need KYC, correct? So if it's if it's a different country, then I guess I can understand that.
At some point, I guarantee there is a slip up, just like.
Yes. Smart people who think they're smart and criminal will eventually trip themselves up and do something stupid and leave a breadcrumb and somebody pick up on it. There again, who knows even if that story is even true. I trust absolutely no media. I mean, none of it. Half of it is garbage, absolute garbage, and half that says it's not an opinion piece is an opinion piece. Right. All right. Go ahead, kid.
Not that our show is not an opinion piece.
It is. Well, we're not pretending. We're reading. We're digesting what's been.
We're opinionating on the opinions,
and then we give you our opinions, whether you like them or hate them or whatever.
We're like washed opinions, anyway.
My opinions are my own.
All right, so let's move along, because you have to get out. That's why we're up early today, because you have to go to somewhere early today. Korea's crypto market is among the strongest and the strangest in the world. Between strict capital controls and regulations, Korea's cryptocurrency industry is so closed off that Bitcoin commands a steep premium, and DeFi is in its infancy. On a day in which Bitcoin crashed briefly to 30K on a rampant bear market, the leading crypto never got anywhere close to that on the Korean exchanges. The so-called kimchi premium saw that too, keeping the price of Bitcoin as much as 5,000 above its level on leading U.S. exchanges. I found that really interesting. The major reason for this kimchi premium is that Korea's exchanges are fairly isolated by a combination of the country's strict capital control laws preventing funds from leaving the country and the tax code and anti-money laundering regulations that make it difficult for foreigners to use Korean exchanges. Even giants like BitHump and Upbit without local Korean bank accounts. Despite this isolation, Korea's embrace of Bitcoin in particular and crypto in general is very strong. In April, more than 5 million unique crypto users, about 10% of the country's population, reportedly bought or sold digital assets at least once in the beginning of 2021. One interesting aspect of Korea's crypto craze is how broadly it is spread across age groups. This is really cool. I'm going to bring this up with Nicole. Nicole is a business associate of mine, and we're starting a women's crypto club. So this will be interesting for our group. One February survey showed that almost half of the users of leading Korean exchanges were in their 40s and 50s, and many of those were mothers. What moms know about crypto and why it's so good. That said, a broader survey of cryptocurrency exchange apps in March showed that young people dominate the ranks of new Korean crypto users, with those in their 20s and 30s accounting for nearly 2/3 of the new monthly app users in the first 3 months of the year. However, they're investing small amounts, often less than $100. Okay, so that was stupid. I don't know why I shared that last part of it, but
so
Korea's got this really cool thing, and it's all closed off, and their price was way higher than our price.
Yeah, I've read that before. That's interesting.
I don't know if was it only Korea that you read it? Now we'll pay attention to that.
Yeah. I've I don't. It's cool. Is it with the kimchi? Is that what it was called? Yeah. I read. I didn't read it. I heard somebody talk about it. I was like, I found that interesting. I don't. So
the border's tight, and you can only buy it from there.
The moms are buying it, huh?
Yeah, and honestly, I think a lot of women that I know that talk about crypto and are very interested, whether their family or their husbands buy it or not, is I think they understand the generational wealth issue and think about it as an investment. Like a lot of the people, let's say the Bitcoin maxis, really say that they're buying the Bitcoin not because they want to go get that cigarette boat that you talked about and fly past the barges, but they they want to have it for their children and their children's children, and they understand that. And so I think these moms in Korea get it, and that's why there's so many of them. I don't know what their the family roles are in Korea, and if the women sort of do like maybe do that side of the thing, because some countries the men only are the ones that financially do stuff, and the women kind of
there was an article, I think it was an article I read talking about it was more of a tribe, and they were talking about how men and women in this tribe observe money, and the women would store it. What they would do if they got extra money was they would buy
put it in the bra.
They buy what?
Remember we talked about the bra yesterday?
Oh, yes.
Do women in tribes wear bras? So I don't know if they do.
What?
If they did, I said, do women in tribes wear bras or no? I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to take tribe off. I remember it was, I thought they were talking about.
You were saying, where do they store it? And I said, in the bra.
Yeah, okay. Okay, we're like 10 now. All right. That's the kind of pathetic stuff that I usually say. So. Okay,
look at the picture behind you.
What? Okay. Like I said, that's exactly.
Go ahead.
So the tribe that was being studied said when the women got extra money, what they would do is they would buy food and things for the long haul. And they said the guys in the tribe are the guys that would buy alcohol and cigarettes or cigars or whatever. So that sounds a little no, but it
why do you think that? Why? Because I can tell you why.
I just because I think it's because I think it's just our very nature. I think women are nurturers more than men are, by on average. Not saying.
Why would the guys buy alcohol or cigarettes or something with it?
I don't know. I'm not a real big, the occasional cigar for me, but I don't know. I'm kind of like I like looking long.
Well, analyze a man. So why do you think a man would do that versus a woman, and why the woman?
You know what? I don't think.
Well, you told me in the past, men are more selfish.
Absolutely.
And women are more selfless.
Absolutely. And so not always.
No, I'm not saying that men are.
Average, yeah, I would say guys probably have a little more, but that's kind of what makes a guy also the guy that goes and does work, and he probably after the day looks and says, well, this is kind of all I want is just a beer and a cigar, or beer and cigarette.
Mark's talking about himself right now.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because I'm a big drinker.
I'm just joking. I'm trying to have fun here.
I guess from a psychological standpoint, yeah, I would say that in a nurturer, a woman is somebody who is looking, because it's a life. You can sit there and say it's not a lifelong thing, but it is, because they're always your kids, and you for some reason, being a parent, you kind of look at your kids probably more in the long term. Even when they're 50, they're going to be still your kids, and you always treat them like.
That's why I think actually the crypto market, and actually, we were supposed to only go for 30 minutes. We're on 25 minutes right now.
And we've gotten through two stories. Hey, I told you we'd have enough stories today. So,
we're overdoing the research every night. We could just get 2 articles and talk all the time.
Well, I think.
I was going to say, I think actually the crypto market is going to be huge. At least in the U.S., because that's all that I know.
In the crypto market's going to be huge?
No, I didn't finish my thought process. You interrupted me. So he gets this snarky face. See, we're actually kind of indirectly fighting right here, and nobody knows it. But
Yeah, laser eyes, and it's not good laser eyes.
yeah, I think the women are going to really wrap their head around this, and I think we're going to be surprised in the next 5 years the percentage of women investing. So that's all.
Yeah,
So.
I think it'll be. I would agree with you. I think it actually. I think it becomes a more well-rounded asset, just because I think it's important that we all kind of.
I think it's totally different though from the female perspective right now, and why maybe it'll be more well-rounded or a higher percentage of women than's in the stock market. Because think about it, when the stock market started and the role of women back then was not, in the financial sector, they were stay-at-home moms. And so now these women are in the financial sector, and women are more, they're working. A lot of women aren't having children anymore. And they're still working even if they do have children. So now I think women are like, okay, I could go and do this job and still raise a family. And so the crypto market is a whole new market that you have to study and learn from. And so I think the women there'll be more women in this. But all right, do you want to go do your thing so we can get through our stuff?
Okay, let me pull up my next article here. We're both kind of clearing, maybe because we had to get up a few minutes early this morning.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. It's my fault. All right, I'm going to pick from, who do I want here? All right, here we go. I'm going to do this one. I think this is a great one because I listened to a podcast yesterday kind of that correlates to this. All right, Bitcoin Magazine. Square Crypto's Steve Lee on developer grants, energy FUD, and Bitcoin 2021. All right, Steve Lee will be speaking during the Bitcoin 2021 conference in Miami, June 4th and 5th. All right. Multi-billion-dollar financial services company Square touches Bitcoin in several ways. It holds more than 8,000 BTC on its balance sheet. Its mobile payments platform, Cash App, which lets users buy Bitcoin instantly, netted some $495 million in gross profit. Wow, that's a nice little profit in the first quarter of 2021. And its CEO Jack Dorsey also runs the most popular social media platform for Bitcoin discussion on Twitter.
What a useless two paragraphs. They're just like you just padded that with like stuff. Come on, dude, get to the point. Not you, but whoever wrote this article.
Oh, I thought, I'm like, man, you're pretty hard on me this morning.
No, I'm saying like who wrote this? It's like,
Well, it's
usually your first paragraph is really like, shoosh.
All right, so let's see. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to skip that. See, fostering Bitcoin development. In early 2020, Square Crypto established a model of supporting free and open source software projects for Bitcoin, and its greatest impact may be on how other industry stakeholders have adopted this model as well. I am extremely pleased with the growth of the funding and support for open source Bitcoin network, Lee told Bitcoin Magazine. All but one of our grantees are being funded for the first time, which has led to substantial increases in overall open source Bitcoin talent pool. Organizations like the Human Rights Foundation, Brink, OKCoin, BitMEX, Kraken, Paradigm, Gemini, and Coinbase have followed suit. The result is a much more robust support base with the power to sustain development for a long time to come. So I'm not going to go into greater use here as far as talking about what this article is. I was listening to, it was Marty Bent and another gentleman, which names escapes me. Hold on here. I'm doing something here and I'm trying to.
You're back.
I'm not back. I'm trying to.
You're back at
I got an update in my corner. I'm trying to get rid of it.
Did you say to do it?
Hold on. There it is. I'm sorry. It was covering where my StreamYards thing was, so I'm pulling back. So this is so I was listening with Marty Bent. I forgot who he was on with yesterday, talking about this. Him and a couple other people are doing the same thing, where theirs is kind of a pass-through entity, taking money to help developers in projects and taking no profits. They are going to form a 501c3 charity organization to help developers develop apps on top of the Bitcoin core. So,
yeah, but that's what Ivan on Tech's doing with his Morales.
Yeah. So this is real good. This is obviously this goes directly to these people developing because a lot of these guys are doing it just on a shoestring budget and on their own time. So if they have a good if they got a good program, good app or whatever, we're starting to fund them now. So start going to that next level. So this is from what I gathered from the conversation, and I will do my due diligence and bring up where that was, which podcast that was, and it was Stefan Livera yesterday.
Oh, okay.
It was escaping me because I listen to so many podcasts. I forget, everything starts running in.
Who you're talking to, yeah.
So,
who you're listening to.
All right. So yes, the development aspect is robust, growing, and here to stay probably. All right, here we go.
All right, I'm going to read the next one, and I just want to point out this lady here looks really bizarre. Did you see her? Look at her face. Right here, look at this lady here. The second one from the right. Look at her face. Anyways, women-led events may encourage long-term female participation in blockchain. By women and for women, crypto industry leaders take action to bring equality to the blockchain sector by developing female-centric initiatives. The tech industry is notorious for its male-dominated culture, and unfortunately, the blockchain space may still be exhibiting this, at least for the time being. Although female crypto investors are on the rise, men still make up the majority of the job positions in the blockchain sector. This could be due to a number of reasons, such as lack of funding for female-led blockchain companies or the ever-present gender wage gap, whatever. According to recent data, by AI-driven marketplace, it's called Hired, female candidates for tech jobs receive wages that were 3% lower than their male counterparts. While discouraging, women leaders in the blockchain space are taking action to ensure equality by allowing females to have their voice heard. Specifically speaking, events run by women for women are becoming a popular concept, yay, within the blockchain sector scene. Most recently, a privacy-enabled blockchain platform called Oasis hosted a virtual blockchain leaders mentorship event with 2 panels featuring women on blockchain. The blockchain leaders mentorship event was specifically targeted at women looking to break into the blockchain and crypto space, along with those looking to transition from trade finance to fintech. I think it's going to be huge. There are some really amazing women in the space, and I want to continue to help the next group of people to come in. I can see that we will have another generational transfer of wealth, and I don't want any generation left out. I see my role is making sure these amazing women are seen and supported. So,
yes, I think this is
that's like a cool article about women, and I'm going to share that with Nicole today.
I think this is very in my world. I think us more seasoned people, especially in the female aspect of this.
Are you saying I'm seasoned because I'm old?
I didn't say old. I said seasoned. It is a much more focus-tested word. And I said we, seasoned. We.
I know. I'm just joking. Go ahead.
And I mean this sincerely. Okay. Women are great communicators. Okay. They really, and they know when an ideal is good, let the ladies know, and trust me, it'll get around the world. You get 2 guys together, it'll take.
We're our own network of masternodes.
What?
We are our own network of masternodes.
Yeah. You tell a guy something,
and it stops right there.
Other than like a fishing lure, you're like, hey, I used the old daredevil here, and you're like, oh yeah. And the guy still won't share it. They're like,
it just stops right there. But women are like the masternodes.
They'll tell everybody. If guys are smart, get out of the way. Just tell a few ladies like, hey, this is really good. It really is. It's things spread so much faster, and you communicate much more information. You give it, guys don't take in a lot of it. A grunt here and a grunt there, and we're good to go. So I mean, it's just I'm surprised how male dominated it is, and I'm not. I'm not surprised. I would like to see. I think adoption happens faster. That's, I guess, I haven't really kind of fully flushed out this idea, but I think adoption happens a lot quicker when you find that there are women in the space. So because things get communicated I think quicker. I think it just spreads faster. I mean, you can see just about anything that when you give an idea out. I mean, you look at you and look at your family, how or your friend. You're like,
talk about it.
yeah, no, I mean it in a positive way. Let's not get negative.
We'll talk about me and my sisters. Go ahead.
I didn't mean your sister. I said your family. So family and your friends. So when okay, so like you're a perfect example. Okay, since I've been married to you for a long time, I know you pretty much about as well as I think any human can know a person. When you find something good, okay, you share it. I mean, you almost trip over yourself to get it out the door to tell somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's like, oh, hey, take this vitamin Z here, and this will make your hair grow back, or whatever. And you're like, oh my gosh, I did it, and boom, you're out the door, and you're telling everybody. So guys are not like that. I mean, it's just the way we're built. And guys are like, oh, okay. And if somebody accidentally asks you, hey, what do you do for hair loss? Okay, hey, my wife was telling me about this vitamin Z.
Yeah, go ask Brenda.
That's my whole point. Is I think adoption happens quicker, and I think it's a matter of them participating at a greater level. I think you're going to see this happen in the next 2 to 3 years. I think you're going to see, like you and Nicole are going to be, kind of, putting your toes in here. And
well, I'm telling you right now. And actually, Rob came in. Hi, Rob, but then he dropped out, so maybe he got bored. So if he comes back in, I'm going to give him a hard time.
Start fighting, and then maybe he can come in and
he dropped off, so I'm going to give him a hard time when he comes in. Hey, Rob. Yeah, like Nicole and I, and I know we have a deadline that we've set to launch this Women's Crypto Club. But honestly, the hours that we have put in the last 2 days to do this, and we still have the rest of this week, and then we're pushing really hard to get this out. And Nicole and I just don't sit around and have nothing going on. She works a ton of hours and I work a ton of hours besides our crypto businesses. And then we're starting this crypto club because we want to start it off really well and do it right and not do it sloppy. And so, we were up late working on mission statements last night. We probably spent about 3 hours working on the logo and the colors yesterday. And I know that might seem stupid, but we know it's all relevant and very important for women to have that identity to a logo and a color. And then I'm working on the website probably the rest of this weekend. And so I just think that, it's going to be cool. So anyway, oh, you're still here, Rob. Okay. It says you're not here. So, okay.
Yeah, he said he's still here. He's driving though. Hey, Rob, if you can.
It says that you're not it says we've got 0 people watching. So maybe you're like a ghost.
I would call Rob 0.
No, but I'm saying YouTube, he's like a ghost or something. So.
Oh, well, he could be a ghost. Well,
anyway. So we're on 37 minutes. And so you want to say something to Robert?
Yeah, I want to say just real quick to Rob. Hey, our show's going to end probably shortly here because we started a little early because I have to get out the door early this morning.
We started at 5:45.
Yeah, we started a little early this morning. So that's
and Mark is promising me that the whole summer he's not doing this because Rob, we were fighting this morning.
No, today was one of those days I had to take care of. Why don't you go to your Terachad article? That one's a good article. You got?
I didn't have an article on that. I guess I kind of do. It didn't say Terachad though. Okay.
Well, it's on our thumbnail.
Yeah, I do have it here.
It better be on this. It better be on this.
I just did a clickbait. I did a clickbait. Okay, so I'll read the article and then you talk about the Terachad thing. Okay, billionaire Carl Icahn says he may drop up to 1.5 billion into crypto. He may invest 1.5 billion to crypto while noting that much of the crypto issues today will not survive. Former crypto skeptic Carl Icahn, the founder of Icahn Enterprise, told Bloomberg he's set to enter the crypto market in a big way, teasing an investment around 1.5 billion. But speaking on May 26, Icahn explained that he is now considering a large investment and that entering the market in such a manner would not be to buy a few coins or something. I mean, a big way for us would be $1 billion, $1.5 billion. I'm not saying exactly. Icahn believes that cryptos that don't at least serve as a store of value will be flushed out of the markets, as there's got to be some form of safety of value there to survive. And then he said, whether Icahn was asked, what's your use case for cryptos. Okay, so this is the part we're going to read this and then go back to what I just read now. The 85-year-old spoke about Ethereum network, noting that with Ethereum, it's the underlying blockchain. So Ethereum has two things. You can use it as a payment system and you can use it as a store of value. Whereas Bitcoin to me is just a store of value. So last night I read this to you and I said, I wonder if he's kind of being bearish on Bitcoin because he sees it as just a store of value, where he sees Ethereum as a store of value and a payment system. But then he says up here, he believes cryptos don't just serve as a store of value, that don't at least serve as a store of value will be flushed out, as there's got to be some form of safety of value there. So maybe he's saying here that Bitcoin, he's kind of reiterating that Bitcoin is its sole purpose is that, and that's the beauty of Bitcoin, maybe. And Ethereum is both. And so I don't know where he stands with Ethereum. It'd be interesting when he enters what he buys. But tell everybody on the stream, including Robert, and Robert, if your really name isn't Robert, please tell me, because I don't want to annoy you by doing that. But
Dad is Robert.
Yeah, my dad is Robert, but if your name isn't Robert, I don't want to keep calling you that. So, anyways, Mark, tell about the Terachad and who said that, and what that means, and what that means.
Okay, well, I'm probably the worst person to explain this, but I'll try to do my best here. But going back to what he stated there, so maybe Carl Icahn hasn't done a lot of homework on this. I mean, you got to realize how much is involved in understanding this. I mean, I was counting last night and I'm thinking, I know I've got several hundred hours into this thing already. I mean, just listening and reading and everything, I know for a fact I've got several hundred now, and I'm still not totally understanding of everything. So for him, I think that will flush itself out.
I asked you to
I'm going to explain in 1 second. I said,
I didn't know that. You sometimes don't.
I know. Okay. It's Rob. Don't call him Robert.
Okay, sorry.
Really pissed at you.
Okay, that's why I asked, because I don't want to keep saying that.
That's funny. I don't care who you are. All right, here we go. So Michael Saylor in that clip there called Carl Icahn the first Bitcoin's first Terachad, and everybody is called Michael Saylor the Giga Chad, and I guess Chad's like a meme of like this big strong guy, and so obviously
a compliment. It means like you're very like
it's a compliment. It's
you're
like you're like the stud in the space, and now he's like a Terra stud. They just call
Terra's bigger than a Giga.
I'm really kind of I'm not. I know what memes are, but I'm kind of new to the whole meme thing. But I get it. It's funny. So yeah, it's great to see. He's 85 years old. He's been around a long time in the world of business. He was kind of known as a kind of a corporate raider. He came in, kind of busted up companies. But very smart. Very diligent, from my understanding, about his approach to business. So you got to give the guy, hey, he's 85. Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett don't get it, but this guy does. So what's the difference?
And then Saylor came out and pumped him up and called him that. So that's going to push me.
That's kind of a pat on the back. It's like, hey, you know what it is? It's like when you see something good, and you invite somebody over to join you. It's kind of a pat on the back saying, hey, welcome to the club. And I think that's important, because I think with this arena of Bitcoin, I think that's what it does. I think Bitcoin's like a giant family. I really do. And we all, we don't all have the same views, but we all kind of are rowing in the same direction.
Yeah.
I think that's real important. And when somebody like this comes on, hey, welcome. Ray Dalio was throwing Bitcoin under the bus. Now he's in the family. Now, it's like he's in the family. You can't talk. You can't. If you find somebody
they'll throw him under the bus if he does. That's the one thing with the maxis, the Bitcoin maxis. Well, if you do one thing out of line, you're like.
What I'm saying is, if he's in and decides to, whether it's Icahn, Dalio, any of these guys, and they're in here for real, you're kind of like part of the family. You're like, okay, I'm going to put my arm around you and I'm going to protect you now. because this is where this is. So I find it interesting. So hey, we're gonna have to wrap this bad boy up here. Okay.
I still have 6 articles.
Well, then I'm leaving. You want me to leave?
Okay, before you leave, Rob and I chatted yesterday on another call that we were on for some learning last night for cryptos, and Rob said that one day he would be willing to go on the show with us. So I actually say that we should have Rob in his truck driving, and then you in your van going to work, and then I manage you two guys in the thing here. We have all 3 of us, and then you guys are driving, and then we can talk for we'll do it almost for like a full hour.
How about we do this even better? You in your car and drive somewhere, and with a mobile, that would be kind of the trifecta right there, right?
You guys, Rob's in
driving and getting
Rob's in like the manliest vehicle, like he's in like that big ass truck, and you're in the van, which isn't too far below that, but it's not as manly as Rob's. It's not as manly as Rob's vehicle.
My manhood by the size of my van. I'm telling you.
And then I'm in my little Mini Cooper.
Yeah. We won't say it. Yeah, the go-kart.
So
I bet they can run faster in that car.
So we'll try that out, Rob, whenever you guys want to do. I think we'd actually
Hey, Chatty Cathy there. I gotta go. So what do you want to finish? You want to keep going on or what?
No, I'm not gonna do it without you on here. So
all right. Well, hey.
I need you.
What?
Nothing. I didn't say that.
That was not good. All right, we gotta run here. Sorry, folks. It's Thursday morning. Thank you for joining us. If you like what we do, please comment or subscribe. If you don't like us, don't get out of bed. Just stay in bed.
Thanks, Rob, for coming on in, and we will see you guys tomorrow. And sign us off.
Thank you for joining us at Bitcoin Say.
Bitcoin Say what?
Boom. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Peace.